our shir on chinuch. Chinuch habonim, chinuch of children. A very important point. I'd like to open today's shir with a very important part of chinuch, and that is tefillah. The first thing when we approach bringing up our children, we have to know, everybody knows that prayer is important. And everybody knows that we don't get anything without prayer. But there's another point here. When we're talking about bringing up our children, and a person is prepared to put time into praying to Hashem, in other words, he's saying, I can't manage on my own. Please, Hashem, give me the right things to say and the right things to think in order that I can bring up my children. So before we even talk about the actual fact that tefillah has such a powerful effect, the mere fact that he uses tefillah and he relies on tefillah, he is saying to himself, Rabbeinu Shloim, Hashem, I need your help. And this is the first step. As soon as a person realizes that it's not him, it's not all what he thinks, how he approaches the situation, it's Hashem who's going to help him, so then he'll have a special siyata d'shmaya. HaKadosh Baruch Hu will help him in order to bring up his own children. I thought maybe there's a slight remiss to this when we say Yivrecha Hashem v'yishmerecha. So Chazal tell us Yivrecha elu habonim, those are our children. V'yishmerecha, those are our girls, the daughters. It's interesting, Yivrecha v'yishmerecha, in the middle is Yivrecha Hashem v'yishmerecha. If we want to have Yivrecha in our bonim and Yishmerecha in our bonois, Hashem has to come in the middle, and we have to realize that we're totally reliant on Hashem in order to do this such an important job. I once heard an amazing vort from Ramat Yisrael Solomon, the Mashkiach of Lakewood, and he said that the fact that children have their ups and downs, sometimes it goes easier and sometimes it goes harder. It all depends on where the parents are holding in how much they are or they're not davening for their children. If the child is doing well, the father, the mother are davening for the child. If it's the other way around, it means that the parents are not doing their bit. That makes it quite a big achrayus, quite a bit of an achrayus on us, that when we look to our children, that we have to be able to think the whole time that we have to daven for them and daven with them that they should succeed. They themselves don't know what's standing behind the door, what's standing round the corner, the different nisyonos that are out there. And even when they get to these nisyonos, not always do they have the amount of seichel, amount of understanding to be able to cope with these nisyonos which come their direction. It's our prayer of the parents, a prayer that comes from within the father, the mother, who's davening for the child, that does wonders. I remember going back some years, it's still ringing in my ears. In Shul Shabbos morning, we had a very, very choshev yid who is sitting in the front of the shul, and after they take the Sefer Torah out and they read the Sefer Torah, so then everybody says, Yokum Purka Min Shomaya. And this man used to make a big business out of this Yokum Purka Min Shomaya. Zara Chaya Dilo Yifsoik, children that should not stop learning Torah. It's a special prayer that our children should go on the right way. He used to daven with great kavanah, and the whole shul could hear it. It's still ringing in my ears, those tefillahs which he put for his children. And all his children, all of them, are all special children, because those children were brought up with parents who understood that prayer is one of the main things which enables parents to do their job. A couple came to a rabbi after they had their first child, and they said to the rabbi, when do we have to start davening that he should go on the right way? So the rabbi said, you've come 9 months too late, which really means that one has to start before anything happens. One has to daven that HaKadosh Baruch Hu should send us children that we should be able to bring up, and we should be able to send them and direct them in the right direction for the whole of their life. The power of tefillah, the power of prayer of a father, and the power of prayer of a mother has no limits to it. It can do wonders. The story is told about a bocha learning in yeshiva, a very average boy. And it was interesting. The Rosh Yeshiva saw that every single zman, every single term, he got the best chavrusas. And it was a wonder. This boy is not something special. Until one day he was walking along the corridor and he heard this boy say to his mother on the phone, Mom, you can stop davening, I got good chavrusa for this term, for this zman. The Rosh Yeshiva thought to himself, wow, that is the tefillah of a mother. It's a tefillah of the parents that help the child in every situation. That's something that every father and every mother should and want to do for their child. I heard an amazing story which brings out the value of the tears of a mother. There was a Yid called Rav Yaakov Chaim Levin. He was the son of Reb Aryeh Levin, the famous Reb Aryeh Levin, and he was a brother of Reb Rafal Levin. This Yaakov Chaim Levin, he lived in Pardes Katz, outskirts of Bnei Brak, and somebody told him that in Yerushalayim they're looking for a new Rav of the whole of Yerushalayim, a Rav Rashi of Yerushalayim. Maybe he would like to go to Yerushalayim and put his name down as a candidate that he should be able to become the Rav of Yerushalayim. Which he did. He traveled from Pardes Katz in those days to Tel Aviv, and from Tel Aviv up to Yerushalayim. There and back, the whole story was a whole day of traveling. He went and he came back. He went to the office, he came back, and his family said to him, well, did you get there? He said, yes. Did you put your name down? Well, no. He answered, I didn't put my name down. You mean you traveled all the way, Tel Aviv, Yerushalayim, and back, and you went to the office and you didn't sign up your name? So Rabbi Yaakov Chaim said, I'll tell you. I remember when I was a young boy, my father, Rabbi Aryeh Levin, came home one night, very late, after 12 o'clock at night. But he came home with an excitement. And the family asked him, what's his excitement from? And he said that he went past a house and he saw a lady darning socks under the light of the moon, by the light of the moon. And she was davening while she was doing that. And Rabbi Aryeh Levin said, I said to her, it's late. Why don't you go to bed? You got another day out tomorrow. So she said, that she is a widow of Rabbi Zolti, and she's got a son, Betzalel, and she wants to have more Torah, he should learn more Torah. So she hired a Rebbe, a teacher for him, that he should have more time, that he should be able to learn. I have to pay for this teacher, so I have to earn money. So I fix people's socks, and with that money, as I mend them, I daven to Hashem that my Betzalel should be a Talmud Chochem, and I pay with this money, I pay for the tutor, that he should be able to learn more Torah. Said Rabbi Yaakov Chaim Levine, my father came back with such an excitement. Look at that. A widow sitting out in the light of the moon, trying to make money so that her son should learn more Torah. Said Rabbi Yaakov Chaim Levine, when I came to Yerushalayim and I went into the office and I looked at the list and I saw other people who had written down their name, and I saw there Betzalel Zolti, I thought straight away, I'm not going into competition with the tears of a mother who cried and davened that her child should do well. I turned round and came back to Pardes Katz. He understood what it meant and what it means, the tefillas, the prayers, and the duma'ot, and the tears of a mother for a child. We as parents, we can set the standard. And not only we can, we have to. What do I mean? Avraham Avinu was promised, that he's going to have children kazara ha'oretz, like the dust of the earth. A few psukim later, Avraham Avinu says, "Va'anoichi hoylech airiri," and I will go barren without children. You were just told that you're going to have children kazara ha'oretz, like the earth of the land. Hashem said to him, I will give you children. I will give you children k'choich ve'ashomayim. Avram wasn't happy with children that they will be like ha'oretz, like the dust of the ground. That's children. But that is quantity. I want quality. I want kochovim. I want stars. Avram wasn't happy. If he was told he's going to have quantity of children, that was ariri, that was barren. That didn't mean anything to him. Until HaKadosh Baruch Hu told him, you asked for it, you daven for it, you want children, stars, you want each one to be special, each one to be a kochav, each one to have their special thing that they can give to this world. I'll give you kochavim. We as parents, we have to pray and daven and hope that our children will, each and every one of them would be special in their own way. And without tefillahs, we can do that. Somebody could turn around and say, okay, I understand. Prayer is a great thing. Prayer does great things. But me? Who's going to listen to mine? Who's going to listen to my prayer? Who am I? Am I worthy that Hashem should take my prayer and use it and apply it, that my children should really be kochovim, that my children should really be special? Says the Sefer HaSidim, and I quote his Lashon, Im vakish odom bitfilosoi. If a person davens in his prayer, and what does he do? Dovo shehu shvach LaKadosh Baruch Hu. If a person is praying for something which it gives extra shvach v'hoidor, thanks to Hashem, v'shoifach olov es libo, and he pours out his heart, HaKadosh Baruch Hu shomea litfilosoi. And listen to the end words. Afalpi she'ein boy biyodoi maisim toivim. Even if he doesn't have good deeds, but if he davens and he pours out his heart and it means a lot to him and he davens well, Hashem will listen to your tefillah. This is a special thing which, if a person is asking for his children to succeed and to be worthy Jews in Hashem's world, to give Hashem pleasure, to give shvach voidor, to thank Hashem, then if he pours out his heart, it doesn't make a difference who you are. If it's a tefillah, and if it's a tefillah from deep within, Hashem hears it, and it has its effect. I'd just like to end off with another story. This story also shows us the power of prayer. It doesn't have to be a long one, but it has to be a deep one. Listen to this story. There was a group of guys who went touring Europe, and one of the places where they came to was the cave of Rav Nachman Breslau, Uman. And they all went in there to say the Tikkun HaKloli, the customary tefillah which is said at his tomb. One guy of the group stood outside and didn't want to go in. Somebody came over to him and said to him, "Why don't you go in?" So he said, "I am not a liar." What do you mean? I don't keep Torah mitzvahs. I don't keep Shabbos. Well, I'm going to put a kippah on my head, and I'm going to go in there and shake away and say a few words. That's being a liar. I'm not prepared. So the man said to him, "Why? Why do you look at yourself like that?" So he said, "I've got a family, I've got children at home, and I haven't got an option. I work on Shabbos. I have to bring parnosa, I have to work in order to bring money home for my family." So the person turns around to him and says to him, "Oh, so you work on Shabbos because of pekuach nefesh, because of your children. You're not allowed to work on Shabbos because of that. But you're not such a Rosha. You're not such an evil person. You're doing it because of pekuach nefesh. You want to save your children. I don't think that's so bad. You have to work on yourself to not work on Shabbos for sure. But why do you look at yourself with such a bad eye?" And let me ask you something, he carried on to say. Do you have the minig? What minig? Do you have the minig on Shabbos to bring home to your kids candies, sweets, chocolates, all good things that kids love? I didn't know about that one. Maybe you should do that. You can't not work on Shabbos, but at least bring for your children. Bring them home something nice. Okay, I never knew about it. I'll try my best. And that was the end of the conversation. The man went back and he carried on working on Shabbos. And he did this minhag, and he brought candies and all good things that kids enjoy, and he poured it on the floor and he said, "Kids, it's Shabbat today." And the kids had a great time. But listen to the end of the story. The following week, the whole week, the kids nagged their father, "Abba, when's Shabbos? Abba, when's Shabbos?" Until the father thought to himself, "They're nagging me, they're asking me, when is Shabbos? When is Shabbos?" Shabbos means something to them. So here he made a short and deep prayer to Hashem, and he said, Hashem, if the Shabbat is important to you, show me. Show me that it's important. The very next day, he gets a call from his boss. And he goes down to the office and he calls him in and he says, you are very successful in our business. And we have a part of our business is in a different part of the country, different part of the town. And we'd like you to become the manager in that part of the business. It's the same distance from your home. It's even less people working under you. You'll get the same pay. Are you interested? So he said, let me think about it. Let me ask my wife. And he came back the next day and he says, why not? Less work for the same money. I'm okay with it. As he was signing the new contract, he noticed on the contract that it said that this part of the business was not open on Shabbos. He thanked Hashem for sending him this message, and he started keeping Shabbos. And his children kept Shabbos, and from then was carried on to all Shmiras HaTorah mitzvahs. What one tefillah can do. Tefillah has a power. Tefillah has a power to help our children, and we have to do it for our children. Let us be zoicha to be able to daven for our children and to see nachas from all of them in the future. Thank you.